Have you heard of the latest edition of Uptown's Entertainment District? Timeline Theater is presenting the Chicago premiere of An Enemy of the People at Timeline's new home at 5035 North Broadway. An Enemy of the People is a sharp, surprising drama about truth, power, and what happens when doing the right thing makes you very unpopular. It's a bold, timely play that feels written for right now. Performances start May 6th and run through June 7th. Get your tickets now and learn more at timelinetheater.com. Now, I bet a whole lot of us is planning some big trip out of town right now for the summer, but I gotta remind you, you probably don't need to go as far away as you think, because Illinois is in the middle of everything. Whether you are looking for adventures in breathtaking state parks, check. Explore the neon nostalgia of Route 66, check. Or want to make the most of summertime shy like me, check. And Enjoy Illinois can help you plan your getaway or help you convince your people to come visit you this time. Find just what you're looking for and a little more at enjoyillinois.com. Today on CityCast Chicago, it may not seem like it outside right now, but we all know this is the month where summertime shy really start boiling to the surface, right? It's about time to throw some on the grill. So we had to bring you our special guide to May. It's Monday, May 4th. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago is talking about. This episode is brought to you by Enjoy Illinois, and I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today. May the 4th be with you, our creative producer, Michelle Navarro.
Hey, Jacoby.
We've also got our audience development manager, Chima Ikoro, in the building.
What's poppin'?
If you've been here a while, y'all know every single month we like to talk about some of the things we are most excited for. And Chima, I want to start with you because today is a very special day.
You know, it is my birthday today. I'm so excited.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. May is my favorite month. And so I'm just excited to be in May. And like you said, it's the start of the summer. My birthday is like the summer groundhog. It's got on booty shorts. My birthday got on booty shorts. My birthday groundhog got on booty shorts. Anyway, but I'm super excited for the Pokemon fossil museum at the Field Museum. They're taking Pokemon fossils and then comparing them to real fossils. I love the Field Museum, love bones, love fossils, love old stuff, love things that like tell us about like what the earth was like before we even existed. And even though I wasn't like a Pokemon kid, I just like, they're just so adorable. I love them. And so I love the mixing of like science and whimsy. I feel like May is the month of whimsy.
I was 100% one of those people whose Game Boy had Pokemon on. I was trying to catch them all as a kid. And I also believe this is the first time this exhibit has ever been in North America. It opened in Japan back in 2021, but Chicago got the special privilege, which makes sense because the Field Museum is also the home of Sue, the T-Rex.
Yes,
and so
my girl.
This is the perfect space for it.
It absolutely is. I feel like the Field Museum is a perfect space for it because Chicago, there's all different types of people with different types of interests, but we're also very interested in our museums. We're very interested in our like art communities. And so I know we had Spider-Man, but then we also had like James Bond, et cetera. We have a bunch of creative stuff at the museums in Chicago. So of course, you know, they came here. And then, but speaking of dinosaurs, right? Birds are the last living dinosaurs, are the last relatives of the dinosaurs. So I feel like there's also a merriment between birding in May. And if you're going to go see the fossil museum, you should also, you know, get some binoculars and see some real life dinosaurs. The migratory songbirds are on the move in the month of May. If you're trying to figure out like, what should I look out for? I've never been birding before, et cetera. You can go check out the Chicago Botanic Garden. I don't bird, but I love birds. I love looking at them with my plain eyes, even though I wear glasses, I can't even see that well. But the Cook County Forest Preserve has a bunch of resources and events throughout the whole month of May if you want to go birding with some other people and maybe borrow their binoculars before you commit, you know, that type of thing.
We took our neighbors out with us on an event with the Field Museum, and we went to Northerly Island. I got out last year and hit some parks, went back to the Montrose Bird Sanctuary, and I still need to get my birding lens, but I know I'm going to get this Pokemon exhibit on my calendar. It's opening up May 22nd and running all the way until April 11, 2027. But I would say if this interests you, then get on it now, because I know there are a ton of people who either showed up late to the party on the Spider-Man exhibit and absolutely blew the pooch on that because they thought, oh, I got months. But remember, y'all, that thing, the Spider-Man exhibit got extended again for you. And so don't miss it this time around. That's going till August 16th of this year. And I imagine that might be the last time. And so a couple of great exhibits at the museum right now. That's not the only person celebrating their birthday this month. Michelle, it's also your birthday month.
Yes, my birthday is at the end of the month. And so I second everything you said, Chima, because I feel like May is the start of the summer. Like it's where all the anticipation is for summertime shy. So yeah, I'm excited to celebrate my birthday. All my friends know May as Michelle May, and I have a whole program calendar with all the events that I make my friends doing. But one of the things that I'm really excited about for May is that beaches open Friday, May 22nd. So the weekend of Memorial Day, that Friday before Memorial Day. And so all the beaches will be open and they will run from that Friday through Labor Day. Lifeguards are on duty during the beach season. They're only on duty during the beach season. And of course, that's when it's recommended to get into the lake from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. As y'all know, the city has 26 miles of free and open lakefront. And although our beaches are free, parking usually isn't. And so a note for that. And then also Block Club always has this guide. They haven't released their 2026 beach guide, but they have a really detailed guide for beaches and like the lakefront. So you can check out their guide.
Where are the bathrooms? Who got food?
Right.
Currently accessible.
Exactly. So I think that's really helpful. Everyone has their favorite beach though. Like I know that as soon as the beach is open, I will be going to my beloved 31st Street Beach. It's so easy for me. I don't have to worry about parking because I just take the bus and get there. But yeah, I'm really excited. Pools don't open until late mid-June. And so having the beaches open though is just a great way to start the summer. That's something that I did a lot last year. For the first time, I think I actually utilized the beaches as much as I wanted to. And it was so fun. I think I was at the beach like almost every weekend, if not every other. And so I know this summer I will definitely be there.
Okay. Yeah, I am excited this month, not only because I think actually this weekend is Mother's Day. And so though I am somebody who spends a ton of time with my mom and try to check up on her as much as I can, I like a day that is just dedicated to pulling up on my mom, everybody getting in one place, all of her sons like coming together, because it happens less and less and less as we get older, as we all know. And so I am looking forward to an opportunity to just celebrate her. Like I tell her on my birthday, I'm like, this shit, 35 years ago, I ain't do nothing. Somebody just smacked me on the ass. You was in there for 18 hours. And so just any day that I can make it all about my mom, who is the type of person who wants to make it all about everybody else, I'm going to take that opportunity. And then I'm really excited for the Chicago Sky season to kick off. Though they don't play their first home game until May 20th, the season starts up on May 9th, where they're going to be out playing the new expansion team, the Portland Fire. Then they in Phoenix for the Mercury before they come back to play the Wings, which is really exciting because their first home game is going to feature the last two number one picks on the visitors bench. And then on our bench, as we know, we got a whole bunch of new players. What I'm hearing from training camp these last few days is that Diggins has really showed up and is really bringing it out there, that there seems to be a plan in place for this team and what they do moving forward, which I'm really excited for, coming off 10-34 season. I don't want to call this a make or break season, but I do think we're in a make or break moment. Like there was just this historic CBA negotiation. We saw the biggest contracts in WNBA history signed over the summer. A lot of teams moved free agency, right? We have 3 new expansion teams over the last few years. So getting into the playoffs is only harder for those 8 teams. And so I'm really excited to see what happens with the Sky when Stevens and Carrington and Sluter back. You know, how does Jackson and young Cardoso fit into the mold? How does the urgency and that dog mentality that Diggins brings to the team, how is that going to translate over a very long summer and a long season? But more eyes than ever are not only on the team, but on the management, because there are more people demanding that management get it together, that they invest in this team, that they put these folks in the best possible position to win. And so, I'm excited to get out there this year. Have you ever seen a Rivian out on Chicago streets? It's fully electric, no gas, no tailpipe emissions, and built for performance and adventure. And now you can enter a chance to win a 2025 Rivian and support solar and storage across Illinois. The raffle supports the Illinois Solar Education Association, a nonprofit working to make solar energy more accessible, affordable, and equitable across the state. This is your chance to drive electric while directly supporting the growth of renewables in your community. Tickets are $100 each or 4 for $300. The raffle ends June 21st. Enter today for your chance to win a 2025 Rivian at illinoissolar.org. Those hot summer days are going to be here real soon. You can expect high utility bills from your AC running constantly. So don't wait until the heat hits and avoiding the extra energy costs. Window Nation can help you get new energy efficient windows at a great price now. The Buy 4 Windows Get 4 free sale is going on, and you can update all your windows and get half of them for free. You can get 0 down payment and no payment or interest for 2 years. Plus, Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your help is protected far into the future and after those installation crews have finished the job in a day or less. With over 45,000 5-star reviews and over 3 million windows installed across the country, you can schedule a fast, free consultation at windownation.com. And hurry, because like spring, this sale will eventually end. That's windownation.com. A couple of other things that are going to be really exciting taking place in May. You got the Crosstown Classic going down on the South Side, May 15th through the 17th. Millennium Park Summer Workouts start up on May 16th, and a few other events we're going to talk about throughout this episode. But I also want to know, Michelle, what is a big story you're going to be paying attention to this month? It's not all summertime shy, outside having a good time. Also some very real shit we're going to be watching.
Yeah, so SNAP food assistant cutoffs started to, begin on Friday in Illinois. It was predicted that thousands of Illinois residents could have lost or would lose their SNAP benefits. In early April, state officials were kind of coming out saying that there is around 150,000 residents that hadn't completed their paperwork and documentation to seek exemptions from the new work requirements. And as a reminder, these new work requirements started back in February 1st, but they kind of had 3 months to submit extensions for that. And so as a reminder, what these work requirements were that went in effect on February 1st was that the law required all recipients between the ages of 18 to 64 to work or volunteer a minimum of 80 hours per month to keep their benefits. Before, Illinois had a waiver for this requirement. But now, if anyone who doesn't, fulfill this requirement and didn't receive an exemption by this last Friday would lose their benefits. And so, this has been in the months for a long time. Back when there was the government, there's been delays in payments. And then in February, people were starting to get worried when this went into effect. This is particularly difficult for older Chicagoans who struggle to, get those work hours in. And so other people at risk last month on April 1st, as many as 16,000 people in Illinois were predicted to lose their SNAP benefits because of recent changes for, eligibility for immigrants, which includes, thousands of families that are refugees that were granted asylum or are survivors of human trafficking and torture. Refugees now can only receive SNAP benefits as a legal permanent resident. And although refugees have been granted a pathway to citizenship in the past, the federal government isn't processing green card applications. We all know why. We're not expecting, the Trump administration to be helping people in the citizenship process. And so we saw a bunch of reporting coming from the Sun-Times, talking about these restrictions, who's being impacted. But we also saw reporting from WBEZ earlier last week that, even grocers and local vendors across the city are being concerned because a lot of their customers, a lot of their revenue comes from, SNAP benefits. And so it's difficult to see. I think within the last couple months, there's been a lot of instability, with tariffs, with inflation. It's just a really hard time. And access to food, as we know, should be a human right. But in the moment, a lot of people are struggling. There's a lot of instability. And so there's a lot of things that Chicagoans could do, though, which is the good part. It's not too late to apply for an extension. You can always reach out to the state, reach out to the Illinois Department of Human Services, call them, go to their website. There could always be other options, a possible extension. And you can also explore the Greater Chicago Food Depository for food pantries, meal programs, and their partners. They have a really accessible tool on their website called the Find Food Map. And so you could enter in your address, find the closest pantry near you, the closest meal program near you, to be able to, access food. And if you're someone that wants to help, I think we're so lucky to be in a city of Chicago, right? Chicagoans always arise to the occasion, whether that's donating or volunteering. You can hit up the Greater Chicago Food Depository, and there's just so many, food pantries across Chicago. Try to connect with your neighbors, see who, there's a lot of people who need help during these times, and it's not easy to ask for help. There's always some shame, and I think we want Chicagoans who need help to shop for their food with dignity, because everyone deserves food. Everyone deserves a hot meal.
Now, I was just going to say a lot of everyday people are impacted. And I feel like sometimes, if you yourself do not receive benefits like this, you might have maybe an idea or picture in your mind of what a person who received these benefits might look like, but it could be to the person to your left or to your right. I know people who lost their benefits that don't know what they're going to do. And, you don't know what people are dealing with or struggling with that make them eligible for these benefits or made them eligible in the past. And so I implore people to take the time to humanize the folks who receive these benefits and to view themselves as community members that are able to impact those around them by just thinking of them as your neighbors, as people that you care for, and not just like some number of people. When we hear these like large numbers, it's like
Exactly.
16,000, like you can't really conceptualize that like that could be half the people on your block. That could be everybody on your block and you might not even know. I think a piece of advice I also have is like, if you're a part of your neighborhood group and maybe you buy too many groceries or you realize, that type of thing, like post to your neighborhood group, hey, I've got this or I've got that. It doesn't have to be some grandiose act. Like sharing the resources that you have can be as simple as offering, the person to your left or to your right, whatever you have excess of, instead of wasting it. Because it's a really hard time for people. And like you said, Michelle, it's really hard for people to ask for help in a time like this. So be a good neighbor,
I think that's an excellent tip because even just posting on your Facebook page, like on your neighborhood page, like, hey, I have this, does anybody want any? Or hey, I'm gonna drop this off at this location if anyone is looking for this. One of my neighbors does something that I think is so sweet where they have like this little wooden table with a little like cover. It looks like a little like farmer's market kind of table, but they always leave food and like Costco muffins and things that are unopened, and they leave it out and you can tell that they're just stuff that they know they're not going to use. And I think it's such a nice way for people who are just passing by, maybe headed to the park, that could just grab something that they need. And so that's something that it reminded me of what you said, because I think there's so many ways that we can help.
I recently visited the Legler Regional Library, the food pantry that opened in there and expanded at the top of the year. And talking with the staff members, they point to this exact thing you all mentioned, the various ways individuals and the city are going to be impacted. Like grocery stores who are already on tight margins trying to stay in South and West Side communities rely on individuals receiving their benefits on time, rely on people who use SNAP benefits coming in and stocking their fridges and feeding their families. The number of people who are going to rely on these mutual aid services, the Chicago Food Depository, the regional library, it's going to have an impact on straining their ability to serve people. They say they never turn people away, but their guidelines do suggest to people, come once every 2 weeks or once a month. And as this strain grows, people aren't going to be able to do that. People are going to need to come as much as possible to survive and to feed their community. And so that strain is going to be passed around from each individual and every nonprofit organization. I know Market Box on the South Side, which delivers fresh groceries to families, is always looking for drivers. And so, my hope is that as the relief is not coming from the federal government, that we do hear local lawmakers talking about stepping up investments in this mutual aid, in city resources and state resources, because we can try as hard as we want. We can do as much as we want, but people are suffering faster than any one of us can help remedy this situation. And so we have to build broader networks. And so this is something we will continue to follow in the months to come. Again, if you check out Block Club Chicago, WBEZ, the Chicago Sun-Times, they've put together helpful resources on where to find free and fresh food around the city. One story I am going to be watching in May, honestly, kind of just came back on my radar because there was yet another one of these ceremonial development. It wasn't necessarily a ribbon cutting or putting a shovel in the dirt, but all these lawmakers were out here signing the final structural steel beam that's going to go into the permanent Bally's Casino at the former Chicago Tribune site. And y'all know how I feel about these moments. It's like, what the hell? I'm like, what the hell is a topping ceremony? And you see, like, the mayor was out there, the Bally's CEO, everybody signing their name to this. And this is a project that I want to remind people still has a lot of questions around it, right? The temporary casino has yet to be approved to stay open for another year, which Bally said they need to finish this $1.7 billion development. Cam Buckner, who is leading the legislation on that effort, says he believes that they're going to get that through, but it has to be passed by the end of May. Also, we don't know if they are going to get any discipline from state regulators for their connection to a waste management company that, got some mob ties in it. This project was supposed to open up in 2025. They recently said they're going to be opening up early in 2027 than the originally reported September date. But again, there's a lot of confusion here. This money is supposed to help find pension relief for the police and firefighter pensions. We don't know if they're going to get that money. The current numbers from the temporary casino say they are very much under some of the expectations that were set forward for the type of revenue they were going to be bringing in. In addition to the fact that online gambling is growing, predictive markets are out of control, and I think nearly 300 businesses have applied for these video game licenses. Let me see. No, 231 businesses have applied to the gaming board to have in-store gambling terminals, these electronic gambling terminals. And so that's going to be another thing that takes up some of the money that Bally's is expecting this permanent casino to bring in. And so I guess my question to y'all is like, do y'all care about the casino? Is that something y'all are ever going to go to? Do you think this was a waste of time?
Look, I wasn't present for the switch between Bally Total Fitness and Bally's. I didn't know. I was like, this is the same logo. I remember growing up seeing Bally Total Fitness, and then I'm like, casinos, what they know? It's like, I love, some of the Gaga songs. What she know about cameras?
What she know about cameras?
What she know about cameras? And I just had to look it up. I was like, oh, they were related. So I don't even know what Bally's got to do with slot machines. But when I found out, like, they were in the casino business, I don't know. I just don't think. I think that I'm tired of the sports betting commercials. I'm tired of, the gambling. I went to Vegas for the first time and second time within like a year, and I was like, wow, this is a corner of the earth that demons crawl out of, because
it's a social science experiment.
It is. I'm telling you. And like, So I don't want that energy to be expanding here, but it's expanding all around us in the internet, on billboards, on TV ads, on our phones, and people do not need another thing to be addicted to. I think that, gambling can be fun, casinos can be fun, etc. But I don't really know if this is, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we did an episode some years ago about the Bally Manufacturing Company and their Ballyhoo pinball. That is a machine that, a lot of people had back in the 30s, and that was founded in Chicago. They aggressively pivoted towards casinos, and then some 4 years ago, they got the go-ahead from Lori Lightfoot's administration to be the corporation that was going to be the name on the front door of Chicago's first ever permanent casino. I agree with you. The energy around it, like on the one, it's here. It's already here, right? They on the top of the ceremony. They're on the last beam ceremony at this point. But the energy around it, the exploitative nature, busing people to the casino, like, the house taking as much as it possibly can for more and more Chicagoans, the aggressive marketing that's going to be needed to compete against the casino in the South Burbs and the casino over in Hammond and the casino out in the West Suburbs. It's like you're only going to see more aggressive marketing materials, more billboards, and I don't think a couple of concerts every now and then and a restaurant and some riverfront access, is going to kind of take that taste out of the mouth. On top of the fact, as I said, I also don't think they're going to meet the bottom line that they promised, that they're really sweeten the pot for everybody, because that's what everybody sold this as, is financial relief for Chicago's, cash-strapped budget. And so I also don't think it's going to meet that, pretty BS
I'm still going to keep
standard.
getting tickets.
When looking at how much revenue the Medina Temple, it turned out 311.6 million in revenue. So it generated, from that, 46.9 million in state tax and 38.2 million for the city, which is a good amount of money, but it is far short from what Lightfoot's administration kind of predicted about what they were hoping to get out of it. And it's looking like that in terms of revenue projections for the permanent casino, Lightfoot's administration showed that permanent casino was expected to generate 107 million for, the city. Again, there was so much construction, so much delays, and a lot of money needed to make it. I'm all for creative ways to make the city revenue. We are broke. We've done episodes where we've talked about why we're broke, how long we've been broke, recommendations on how to not be broke. And it's true. The key is to find these creative ways to bring people to Chicago, to boost tourism, to boost ways that we can get people in the city spending money on the city. And I'm looking forward to see how it pans out. Like, will this make as much money? So many Chicagoans that do love, the entertainment, because of course, it's not just about gambling, right? There's the restaurants, and there's going to be on the riverfront, and there's going to be, shows and possible entertainment. And so I'm looking forward to see if this is going to generate the amount of money that they had predicted. Because like I said, we're broke. And so at this point, I'm as desperate as anyone to make our city some money. But will I visit? I'm not gonna lie, I probably will. Will I gamble? Probably not safe for me to gamble, but I kind of want to do.
At least you know yourself. At least you know
myself. I know myself.
I'll gamble somebody else's money. That's the only time I've spent money at a casino. My friends were like, "Here," I'm like, "Thanks," and then I lost it. So.
And that's total. That 38 million you were talking about, that's total. And it was down 2025 from 2024, the revenue from Medina Temple. And so I think they're really hoping that the shiny facade of the building really brings people in. But yeah, only time will tell. Only time will tell. But Brandon Johnson is still out there smiling and signing and very bullish that he believes that $100 million a year is possible. Again, Medina ain't giving that, but we understand Medina isn't that. But it's
not the final. It's not the final.
So yeah, time will tell. They're saying early next year. early next year. So we'll see. So we're talking about being on the doorstep, a summertime shot. A lot of events planned for this month, including you got the Windy City Hot Dog Fest in Portage Park at the end of the month. Swangos is going to be back. The good folks over at Enjoy Illinois, their pick of the month is the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum and Library, which they're really encouraging people to check out on their Route 66 road trip. But I want to know, what is y'all tip for people to make the most of May? Because for me, I already know what it is off the back. And that's Chicago farmers market season. Y'all know how much I love a farmers market. I literally moved down the street from a farmers market that's going to be back the second week of May. And so I'm going to be out there. And there are quite a few that are opening up. 95th Street Farmers Market, back already. 61st Street Farmers Market, opening up on May 16th. You got Andersonville, Division Street. Who else is going to be open? Y'all already know Green City is already up and running. Lincoln Square Farmers Market is back this week. Tomorrow you can get out there. The Logan Square Farmers Market is back this weekend, and so many more across the city. June is really where it is in full bloom, but listen to our guide on making the most of the farmers market. Support your local farmers market as much as you can. These are places that are also going to be impacted by the fact that, like, a lot of farmers market just started accepting SNAP benefits in the last few farmers market seasons. And so again, to know that they are going to feel the pinch as well. So wherever you can divvy up your support during this time, I think is really important. And so I'm excited to get back out there, selfishly, because I want some damn good tacos from the South Loop Farmers Market and some empanadas from the 95th Street Farmers Market. So
absolutely. I need some fresh. I need some honey. I need some dried lavender. I need a rutabaga and a box of strawberries. It's a lot of things I need from the farmers market.
I was hating on bagels last week, but I do love a good pizza bagel from the farmers market. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's real. That's real. Hold you. A piece of banana bread too. Oh, farmers market banana bread. I don't care who made it. Give me some. My tip, especially if you're going to be outside at farmers markets or really outside anywhere, the weather apps have been unreliable. We know that there's been a lot of weird things going on with the weather. If you know, especially in Chicago, the weather is already unpredictable. But there's very little predictability in general. So pack a little small poncho, one of the little foldable ones that come in a little packet. Keep it in your back pocket, keep it in your purse, you know, stuff it in your sock or whatever you got to do, because the sprinkles of rain are not going to stop. And if you're like me and your hair, you know, got a little what's it called to it, you know, you might want to make sure you can protect it. Pack a small umbrella, bring a little allergy medication. The pollen is picking up speed, but pack your little survival kit so you can be ready for the unpredictabilities of Chicago's weather.
I got my nasal spray on hand. Birthday hair was out in the rain yesterday, but I kept it good. But yeah, yes. I am someone who never has an umbrella with them. Never. And I don't know, it's because I don't like carrying them, because they aren't, I don't know why fashionable should even matter, but I don't have a really like nice umbrella. I don't, I hate to go out with an umbrella and then I didn't need it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have anywhere to put it. It's never really nice on my person. Yeah. And I've left maybe 5 at restaurants, lounges. Me and umbrellas don't get along.
Yeah, that's why the pocket poncho is like is a little bit, you know, it's compact. If you don't use it, it stays, you know what I'm saying? Stay small. Put that in your cargo pant pocket.
Michelle, you got some good indoor activities for us in case the rain is doing a little too much.
Yes, May is Asian American Pacific Islander month. And so there is going to be plenty of AAPI events across the city. One of the events that I definitely will check out is the 29th annual Asian American Showcase at the Cisco Film Center in the Loop. I love the Cisco Film Center because they always have really interesting movie picks that are kind of, you know, harder to find. They're not going to be the ones you find at your AMC or your, you know, your Regal theaters. These are, you know, more independent films. And I love going. The theaters are small. It's in the Loop, so it's really accessible just off the train. But it's presented as an annual collaboration with the Foundation of Asian American Independent Media. And like I mentioned, this is their 29th year, so they've been going strong for a while. And their purpose is to, highlight and promote work from emerging Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander filmmakers and stories. So definitely check out the Cisco Film Center website so you can see the different movies. I know they're going to have a film on their opening night, Forge. There's so many to pick from. I'm really interested in seeing their AAPI Chicago shorts. And a lot of these will have the filmmakers in attendance. And so if you're, if you are a film bro, if you love movies, I love going to the movies. And so this is a great way to, support the theater, but also to support Asian American Pacific Islander filmmakers. And so, yeah, definitely check out their website for showings this month.
Shout out to the Chicago Reader. They put together a bunch of great events that are happening this month, including a poetry and chai event for Mother's Day that is going down on May 10th. They've got a zine making and block making workshops, some other screenings. They got the Desi Comedy Fest at DN Theater Sunday, May 31st. And so shout out to the entire Chicago Reader staff for putting together these great events.
The Cisco Film Center will have the Asian American Showcase from May 7th to May 12th. So just a couple days, but a lot of films that you can catch during that time. So check out their website for times and see if the filmmakers will be in attendance.
Yeah, I feel like it's so important for folks, even if you're not a creative, to be tethered to the arts. I feel like it helps our brains free themselves from this machine. So go do something artsy fartsy. Watch other people do something artsy fartsy. It'll heal your heart. Trust me.
It'll make for a much better May. I want to give a huge thank you to our guest today, creative producer Michelle Navarro.
Thanks, Jacoby. Thanks, Chima.
And our audience development manager, Chima Ikoro.
Thank you, Jacoby. Thank you, Michelle.
If you haven't heard from enough of the team today, stick around and listen to our executive producer, Simone Alisea, have a quick conversation sponsored by Enjoy Illinois about how to make the most of our state capital this summer.
Hey, it's executive producer Simone Alisea here, and I'm here with Scott Dahl, the director of Visit Springfield. Hey, Scott, welcome.
Simone, thanks for having me.
So a lot of Chicagoans don't realize that you can literally just hop an Amtrak at Union Station and be in Springfield in just a few hours. No car, no highway, no stress. For someone who's never made that trip before, give me the pitch. Why should I do it? Why should I go?
Well, it's just a few hours and it's so relaxing. No traffic to worry about. 3 hours, you're in Springfield. You arrive right downtown. It's extremely walkable. All of our world-class state historic sites are within a 6 or 7 block area right downtown. You can go out to the tomb. You can take an Uber or certainly take a car out there. It's about 10 minutes away. But everything else from the Presidential Library Museum to Lincoln's home to the old state capitol to the Capitol itself, Lincoln Herndon Lofts, everything is right here within a 6-block radius.
You've mentioned a couple times Lincoln, obviously lots of Lincoln in Springfield, but I'm guessing it's more than just one museum. Walk us through kind of how you could do like a real Lincoln deep dive in Springfield.
But yeah, once you arrive, the best place to start is the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library Museum. That's where you can take a deep dive if you want. You can spend 2 hours or 2 days. It's an immersive experience. There's new exhibits all the time, but that's really where you learn about the life and legacy of Abraham Lincoln. And what's cool is you can leave there, walk 3 blocks south, and tour the only home that Abraham Lincoln ever owned. And then you could backtrack a couple blocks to the old state capitol, and you can visit the space that Abraham Lincoln provided his House Divided speech right there. You can visit the Lincoln Herndon law offices, the same space that Abraham Lincoln practiced law. I think that there's nowhere certainly else in the country that you could do that. You learn about it, and then you actually go to the places and you walk where Lincoln walked.
Well, I think people think Springfield. I think obviously they think Capitol, right? I think they think Lincoln. But what else is there for someone who wants to maybe get off the beaten path a bit?
Springfield, Illinois is the heart of Illinois Route 66. 2026 is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, and we're celebrating in a big way. You can start north at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, Route 66 Experience. You can see the Legends Neon Sign Park. I call it the Jurassic Park of neon signs because none of those signs exist any longer. You can move through downtown. You can grab yourself a Made Right, a Cozy Dog, the original hot dog on a stick. You can run out to Motorheads and see what Ron Metzger has done out there and really take in that Route 66 experience, and especially during the centennial year. But then the Dana Thomas House as well. I think our Frank Lloyd Wright Dana Thomas House, which is right downtown within walking distance of the Lincoln site.
You know, Chicagoans love a Frank Lloyd Wright tour.
Absolutely. And listen, the Dana Thomas House has 99% of its original contents.
Wow.
That is impressive. You walk through there and it's like stepping back in time.
You mentioned the Cozy Dog, but I want to talk about one more unique Springfield food item, and that's the horseshoe. Can you describe what a horseshoe is and where should I go get one?
A horseshoe sandwich. So it starts with a Texas toast. It's piled on with a protein and then French fries on top and then dripped in cheese. Cheese sauce just drips all over it.
The pictures are wild.
They are. And, you can pick one up anywhere in Springfield. A lot of people like them at Darcy's Pint. We hear that a lot. But really, any restaurant will have either a horseshoe, which is a lot, by the way. You might want to nap afterwards.
Or you might need to share it. You might need to bring somebody to...
That's a good idea, too.
So it's sounding like that maybe this is a full weekend, not just a day trip. When I'm thinking about sort of a longer stay, where should I stay or other places to eat that would be good?
We have over 3,500 rooms in the city of Springfield. You can stay right downtown at the President Abraham Lincoln Doubletree Hotel. The Inn at 835 is an amazing bed and breakfast that's a can't miss for sure. But there's plenty of opportunity to stay wherever you may want throughout the city.
Scott, thank you so much again for taking the time and for all these great recommendations.
Absolutely. Thank you, Simone.
Again, check out enjoyillinois.com to learn more. We're going to have a link for you in our show notes as well. And thanks so much for listening.
As always, I appreciate y'all for making time. And so here is my final gift to you. Some good news. Something I've been really wanting to do lately is attend a bonsai workshop, and the Japanese Cultural Center is hosting one this Thursday in Lakeview. As always, I appreciate y'all for being here. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace.